friends. Welcome to Trading Terminology. Hope my voice is clear to everyone.
Yes,
So everybody, okay, great. So everybody is more keen to understand how it's going to be upcoming week and how we should trade. So as usual, we want to start with Nifty. So we all understand all the short hour candles are basically all oversold, and we are standing right at support zone of 99.50. Made a low of 10,004. Somehow could not break. However, it was a last attempt sometime late evening to break the 10,000, but we could not. We have seen some recovery on Dow Jones at the end, wherein Dow Jones future closed at somewhat around, say, this was the closing 4 hour. Okay, so 24,894, and if you just check on television, they're showing us a Friday close, which is around 668 or something. So Dow Jones is up by say 200 points. Early morning we'll get that kick at 6:30. So we need to check how Dow is behaving. Is it strongly,
Hello.
maintaining above 24,800, 850, which is a stiff resistance zone. And if it is maintaining that 24,800, then on Nifty, we might find some support, a gap up opening of say 50, 70 points is something which we can look into it. And another move which we will get is from ICICI Bank. We got the results, though there was a decline in track margins, but altogether, analysts they were looking higher provisioning and bad asset class, but we could not actually see anything, beyond this negative part. So I think if the area sounds good on ICICI Bank, it has closed some 4% up, 4.5% up. So that makes around 330, 31. ICICI Bank is still resistant at 336 and 342. So I'll just check the first hour if it is followed by large volumes and it is healthy and it is closing above 330, then I can see that there is some support which is going to happen short term in this, at least from this bank. So don't get tempted with a higher opening and just don't jump on buying ICICI. What we have to see is just that, is it a sound rally which will continue and take this Nifty or other banks will participate, or it is just a fake gap up opening which is going to be, see some lower prices in next 1 hour. So we need to see that volumes which you can compare it with previous days, put that hourly candles, and then it is easy to get it. We can see Axis Bank, some LIC selling happening from last 2 3 days. So Axis Bank has given a very negative candlestick pattern. If you just check on monthly, you will find evening star pattern. So I'll show you that. Before actually talking on Nifty, we should see that, which all things will participate on the negative side and what will take Nifty on negative side. So you'll see it's a big monthly. Axis Bank has formed an evening star pattern, and it has broken this triangular pattern, long triangular pattern. So next month, if it moves to 560 to 63 and not able to close that, any move which is not able to close above 570, it's a sell signal, and which will get this Axis Bank nearly to 510 odd levels. But that's not it. I mean, if this time it breaks 510 odd levels, we are touching the super trend anyways. So which can bring this to 422. But I don't know. I think it is best to first check, where Nifty is gonna hold itself and what all support zones we are talking about. So I personally feel that Nifty should come around 96.25, but it may take a while because 10,099.50 it's a big support. And since we are already oversold in most of our averages, I feel that this averages need to cool off some time. And then probably there are fair chances that it may hit that level of 10,200, 215, and then we try again. But at the same time, I'd say that, if it is not able to cross this 10,099 or 10,100, and the way we've seen selling on Friday, if it happens tomorrow again, then we are sliding straight to 9,700. So it depends, how banks participate from now. So I don't have much. I don't feel much support from PSU banks. They're pretty much struggling, and the results are awaited. At the same time, all those private banks, say like IndusInd Bank, Kotak Bank, so they started, making lower lows. At the same time, you'll check HDFC Bank made a high of 2000, 2004, 7, but could not sustain, and again it is floating around 1950 to 1960 zones. So net post results, all those private sector banks are this just looking at profit booking kind of thing, and they just struggle, and they tend to come down after 3, 4, 5 days of the result. So I need to check again. I think most of private sector banks have already out, and they may lose all what they're holding in. So what will take this up? Because IT sector is again, they've started coming down, and the cement, FMCG. So most of the large caps are now started showing us a negative sign. So I'm not concerned about mid caps. So mid caps are now consolidating. So this is the first stage. It seems like somebody is accumulating mid caps. Okay. So I feel if there is if any downside which clicks this 9950 support, okay, so all those people who just want to turn bearish with this support level, okay, I think for our all equity group members, they should focus upon mid cap stocks if they want to make money, because mid cap stocks are already sold, oversold, say by 60% from the top. And if they find that opportunity in this panic level, people will sell their stocks with throwaway prices, and that's where one should actually look forward to invest in, to make that 15-20% quick returns. So all those stuff from this point sold in a panic position, I think it's a throwaway and win-win situation for all of us to accumulate all those mid caps to make money. But at the same time, Nifty may test 9,700 sorts, and that's where we should pick some mid caps, or if you have some good money, you can buy. Now you know that mutual funds are listed, so you can buy directly from there, and I think you will make quick returns from there, because there is much expectation of bouncing from those levels. So I believe 15-20% is not something which may get in, and we will not miss it. Okay, so Nifty is now just summarizing. Nifty currently standing. Hold a. Okay, so we were discussing about Nifty. So what I was trying to say, just to summarize, that large caps are now started falling, and mid caps are already started finding some support zones. It seems as if somebody is accumulating at these levels. So you might see some panics at this point, wherein mid caps may fall another 5-7%, but don't worry. So any dip, below this 9950, just best of your mid cap for the 10-15% return, and that is the quickest money you will make. So I'm readily, charging on it to you trade a few scalps to make that 10-15%. So even you can look, and all those who have that money and don't, have much time to find all those theories, so they can invest into small and mid cap mutual funds. The drop, the I think we will find the 5-7% drop from the current prices. I think that's a good price to accumulate that NAV, and you can exit once we get this bounce. So I believe that 96, 9,700 is the bottom, wherein public will start talking about 90,000, 9,000 or 8,200 level. Just don't get panic. That will be a period wherein, most of the people will be out from the market, and I'll be buying. I believe from there we may get some bounce, which I'll tell you later, looking at volumes and OI interest. But I think that is bottom from my side. Currently standing at Nifty. Nifty seems negative. I'll show you the chart first of all on daily pattern, which will give you some definition that where are we standing. Okay, guys, so this is the chart. Okay, this is the triangular pattern. We broke upside and we broke now on a downside. We almost broke the head and shoulder here, and we are standing at the tip of it. And if you see, just take the longer version of this chart. That this red area, this this red area. Okay, it has a support somewhere on this 9700 or 9625 or 9650. So we are already into this below red triangular pattern, which may act as a support from this point, and we may bounce again to some 200, and then we may drop 9700, or we are dropping from here directly to 9700. So tomorrow's opening will give us a clear trend that whether we are sustaining the 10,100. If we are sustaining 10,100, then we may move up to this resistance point of say 10,200, 210, 15, and then we fall back again to 9,700. So net and net, it is not the condition that in we may see a sharp rise buying this Nifty, because I am currently facing some issues with the large caps, wherein and they are stressed and they're not seeing follow buying, and wherein the bear is the winner, wherein they are holding their short side or a put position. So open interest is largely on a say on the negative side, if I understand, on large cap. So Nifty may drift further down. So let's hope tomorrow, if you're holding 10,100, we will revise for the buying, and I'll in between knock you the buy. But at the current situation, it is fair that we judge that first hour and then see, how the Nifty is holding and how the other sectors are holding on. Just stay with it, okay? So Bank Nifty done, ICICI Bank, private banks done, IT sector is down. IT sector, I'll give you a buy point on IT sector, wherein I believe that you can make that 20%, but I think there is still some time. Till the time we are negative on the Bank Nifty and Nifty, I think IT is also going to be under stress. So let's see how things pan out. Good news that crude is cooled off a bit, and I think 73, 74 is going to be a very good base, wherein bulls would like to control that base level, and the highest resistance which we can face is 78, 79 odd levels. So crude is now in the limits. Rupee has also faced a stiff resistance, standing at 74 and a half, $74. So we have cooled down to 73 now. So things are very much in control. We will not see any negative news from crude and rupee for a while. But important point is, if what if Dow Jones cracks 24, 200, 241. So there is some golden line. You just put a line there. You just put a point in your mind, or you can write it. So Dow Jones standing at 24241. Okay, 24241. Any closing below 24241, we may see a sharpest fall of at least 1500 to 2000 points. Okay, so get ready with that as well. So I think we are currently more or less dependent upon international market. Domestic cues are, if we say that things are much oversold, number one. Rupee is now on a reversal. Crude is on reversal. So I think if bulls want to control this negative, they can, but if they are not able to, then there is a panic move, and then in that case there is some international setup of correction which may perform. So let's see how things go on. But at this point, I may not like to jump in any stock in the morning. I would like to see that first hour performance, their average control, the reversal, the volume behavior, and then only I'll go into it. So better part is to play in options. A lot of opportunities to trade in options and to make that 10, 20, 25% within a day. So just trade one and one day. I think it's good to trade because options are giving money this time. Okay, so I'll just see even an ICICI if there is some opportunity. I'll share that option tomorrow, either on a long side or on a short side. But at standing at this point, it is difficult to trade because though I feel personally that this setup should break on a negative side, but operators are currently not giving way for bears to get into ICICI Bank, and they just want to have their own OI. So a lot of people, all those mutual funds, personally, that there should be no buying interest from the fund side, and that's going to be a fake move on upside if it is there. If not now, 5 days, 10 days down the line, it should crack on a negative territory.